Hello and welcome back to Talkin Pitch Side. I am your host PJ with my co-host Tony, as always, here to cover some of the final moments of the 2026 World Cup here in America. We'll talk about that England-Argentina match, preview the final, and then a couple games to preview here for Friday in the MLS. We are back right now. There's actively games going on as we're recording, so
Yes.
a couple little head
Yes.
turns here. You know that we're reacting
Yeah.
to just a thrilling Toronto Montreal match that has occurred so far.
Yeah.
That's sarcasm, everybody, because nothing has happened. We'll get into that and why it looks that way after we get through the World Cup here. But I think Tony, we've got to dive into this Argentina England game because this was everything this World Cup's been. I mean, we've really been gifted with a great World Cup in our home country here in the United States in terms of the drama at the end of games, the comebacks. I think during the group stage we had the most like last minute goals to win a
Mm.
game in World Cup history during the group stage, and there's been about like what feels like eight more of those in the knockout stage. So it's just, and Argentina's just done half of them. So it's just been constant drama. Argentina has given us that drama, and they do it again. This team doesn't die, and it is remarkable to watch. They're just led by Messi still. I I don't know what my expectations were and how I was thinking Messi was going to perform. Like I still thought he was going to play at a high level because we've been watching him day to day here in the MLS. But he has put together his greatest World
Just
Cup performance
insane.
ever in his lifetime, and it's not even close, really. Like statistically, it's not
Yeah.
even close. Like goals and assists wise, and he's 39 years old, and it's remarkable. It's remarkable what they're doing as a team and him as
Yeah.
an individual. And I really do want to emphasize the team more so than just him in this moment with what they did in England. But I mean, give me your instant reaction to what Argentina is doing, and then we'll dive into the Thomas Tuchel strategy and what all led to this Argentina comeback.
The first thought that comes in my mind is how do they keep getting away with this? They have just like hung on by a thread this
Four
honestly
straight
entire
games. Four
tournament.
straight games. They've been
Yeah,
losing in the
like
knockout
it
stage.
it's just nuts. How do they keep getting away with it? Like when is anyone going to learn that they are able to surge and just push and the Messi effect just I guess outlasts everybody. It's been phenomenal to watch. Obviously, like I think that what what takes it down one tiny notch for me, I wouldn't say that I'm Argentina hate watching, but I've always been and I always will be like when I'm watching anything like I'm pro new guy. So whoever it is that hasn't been to the World Cup more recently, then I'm all for them. So like spoiler alert, I'm rooting for Spain. I know they won in 2010, but like it's
Yeah.
more recent than Argentina, or
Yeah.
Argentina's more
If
recent.
you're a
So
Cinderella guy, it's your worst nightmare. I mean, it's the number
it
one, number
really,
two team in the world.
yeah, it's kind of gross that way. But at the same time, it's kind of like and we mentioned this with the Final Four. It's like these are the best teams too, and it is like gonna if like it sets the stage for the best quality on the field. Not guaranteeing we're seeing that, but it sets the stage for that. And saying these two teams just have put it together, and we're going to see some really good performances. So, as we've seen from Messi, and yeah, it is so ridiculous that like we're talking about an MLS player that's just absolutely like I think in some ways people are losing respect for him, that he's carving it up in MLS and like totally get that. I think that's 100% fair. And then he's doing that in World Cup semifinals too. Like,
it,
of
it's
course MLS had no chance against him.
it is it's remarkable how easily the headline, if he would have stunk it up in this tournament, would have been, well, he's been playing MLS for the past 4 years. What did you expect?
Yeah.
And how much he has destroyed that headline, like where no one has been insulting the MLS because of what he's doing. Like
Honestly,
he's
U.S. fans have been
destroyed
hating the MLS more than
more
like
than
anyone
anybody else, which
else.
is
Yeah.
ridiculous. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean it's insane. It's otherworldly. This Argentina team feels like it hits like the 60th, 70th minute, and then they just become the best team in the world. Which I think like there's a strategy to that. Like I think they are like the way they play is very like uh complacent with just like fighting and going back and forth with the team for the first good bit of the game and knowing that
Hmm.
they feel that they have that extra gear that other teams don't have, which is like they can turn on. And I mean, Messi is, I think, the perfect like example of that, where it's like you look at him, you're like, this guy's walking around the whole game. It feels like,
Right.
but because he's doing that, like he's doing that on purpose. Because in these final moments, when he knows that he needs to put the team on his back, he has more energy than anybody in the field because he's like reserves his energy for these moments. And like there were moments in the like in the build up to this comeback, in the final moments where he was making some solo Messi runs in the through the middle of the team, and I was like, this looks like vintage Messi a little bit because he reserves that energy for those moments. And
Yeah.
so to the nitty gritty of the game, it was from the jump a super physical game. We me and you talked about that last episode. We expected that. We thought that's what this was going to be, was them physically going at each other, and that's what it was. I think in the first half there was like one shot on net and like 12 fouls. Like that's just, it was cagey. It was played in the midfield a ton. The
Hmm.
second half comes out cagey again, but then England gets this break out of nowhere where they play the ball over top. Morgan Rodgers ends up at the end of it, plays the ball across right over Martinez's head, and I think it was Tagliafico's on the back post was just asleep, and Anthony Gordon taps in a great cross from Morgan Rodgers. So at that moment, you're doing the whole, oh my, like England's going to go to the final. Like it felt like that hard for either team to get anything going. So anyone who was going to score felt like they had the best chance to win. I like he's getting destroyed right now by the English
Yeah.
media and by every media outlet in the world, but especially English media. In the moment, I had texted a group of people like they cannot just sit back and allow Argentina to do this, because we've seen now three teams basically do that against
Yeah.
Argentina in the knockouts and seen what's happened. And like it's like everyone in the world knew that, like except for Thomas Tuchel. And I know like they were getting harassed even before they subbed in the defenders after the goal. And I think that's probably was why he reacted the way he did, because he was just concerned that like it's going to still happen regardless. So let's just get guys in there. But the way they subbed out any threat of a counterattack and just bunkered in with five center backs in the back line was the most ridiculous tactic choice I've ever seen in that scenario for a team like as great as Argentina is, and they're on a remarkable 4 year stretch here, a 6 year stretch from the last like two Copa Americas ago to this now. From like pen to like man to man on a lineup sheet, England is so much more superior than Argentina in terms of talent on the field. Where you like the moment they did that, you were just conceding the idea of like attacking, and Argentina didn't even have to sit anyone back. Like Argentina subbed on another attacker, and we're playing with like a front like six, basically of
Yeah.
attackers, because they were like, oh, they're not gonna break at all. Like that's just like they're not going to counter us at all. And this isn't an Argentina defense that's been like really good this year or
Right.
this World Cup. Like they've allowed a ton of goals, and they like we've seen the likes of Cape Verde, the Switzerland, Egypt all make this defense look very shaky at times. In this high-powered English attack from the Premier League and all over the best leagues in the world, they had 7 total touches in Argentina's box. And after they scored the goal, they had 12% of the possession the rest of the game.
It's ridiculous.
12%. Like
Yeah.
that is just cowardice, cowardly play. It was cowardice. It was accepting Argentina to get back in the game. And you cannot give Messi and this Argentina team that knows how to win more than anybody in this tournament just 30 minutes to go. Like at that rate, it's like a deflection is just going to go in eventually. Like you just
Hmm.
cannot bank on that. And it's okay to sub in an extra defender, but subbing in 3 extra defenders and it taking out all counterattacking threat, like you're not telling me like a Rashford or like a Saka didn't even feature in this game. I don't know if that it was injury related or what, but like one of these attacking players on the bench
Right.
couldn't have subbed on, so you could, when you get a ball, at least be like, hey, we're gonna launch it forward. Just we need you to run after it. Like that's how we're gonna try and get an opportunity here for you and Harry Kane. So it just didn't happen, and Messi does what Messi does. He plays they get the corner, and he attracts like three guys basically to him off the corner, like the short pass in the corner, which leaves Enzo Fernandez wide open at the top of the box. And you had seen he had taken like 2 to 3 shots prior to that point from that same spot. It's almost like he was dialing in for that moment right there, and he hits a great strike. I don't. I still think Pickford probably, if he was set up better in his net, he was very on the far on the right side of the net, which opened up that left side for Enzo to take this strike. I mean, it's still a great hit ball. So they get the equalizer. At that point, everyone in the world was like,
We know where this is
"We
going.
know what's
Yeah.
coming," because England didn't have an attacker on the field. They were just trying to survive to get to extra time to readjust their tactics, and which ends up leading to another opportunity. I mean, McAllister hit the post twice. It leads to a Messi cross, which I mean, the touch on that cross is ridiculous to get right between those five center
Yeah.
backs on England. And yes, they could have marked better, but it's like there was so much panic going on because the ball had just hit the post, it just popped out. Like Jed Spence had just made a lunging tackle, so he wasn't in position to get out of Messi, so he's free to take this on his right foot, cross it in, and the center backs aren't in perfect position because they're just chaos man marking at that point. Like it's just like that's that's what we're talking about. That's what they were accepting though. Like that's what they allowed to happen, and they do it again. It was ridiculous. I couldn't believe Thomas Tuchel, the guy they
Yeah.
hired, to like be more brave than the Gareth Southgates of the world that they've had coaching wise. That's what he chose to do in that moment. And I get hindsight's 2020. Like if it worked, no one's saying a peep about it, which I totally get, but it didn't. And that we all in the moment said to ourselves, there's no way Argentina doesn't score a goal here after we've seen all tournament. And I feel like that's where it was painfully obvious of why that was a poor decision by Thomas Tuchel in the moment.
Yeah. By the way, St. Louis just scored on Sporting Kansas City, so
Two goals.
big break. And Mihailovic is now subbed on for Toronto. So welcome back,
St.
Georgi
Louis is up
Mihailovic.
2-0.
Oh, I didn't even see that. I just saw that
Yeah,
they
two
scored
goals in 8 minutes.
Hartel and who's the first goal? I'm sure we'll get it, but
Saying
matter.
Young.
okay.
Welcome
Yeah.
to the second half of the MLS season.
Right, yeah. But about England, Argentina, like I think that the bigger picture for me on this is, I mean, the unspoken stuff that honestly is spoken about a lot is typically like the lesser team plays the bunker and counter game because it sets up a game that's less dependent on talent and more dependent on system and levels the playing field a lot. But like you just said, I completely agree that like if you go blow for blow on the team sheets of England versus Argentina, England probably wins that battle. And so what's wild to me is that after you score that first goal, Tuchel throws up the white flag basically and says, you know what, we're going to draw back and we're going to counter because, like it just feels like an admittance or like a false narrative that like we're not going to be able to hold this. We shouldn't be able to attack, like that's the part that's like, that doesn't add up.
Drives you crazy because you're like, now Argentina is going to be so pressing to move forward. If you can just
Yeah.
stay in your set a little bit longer, you can't tell me there wasn't going to be 3 to 4 more opportunities for Harry Kane and Anthony Gordon and Morgan Rodgers to have one more chance in there where they could have doubled that lead. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you're up 2-0 in that scenario in the 65th minute, and you're like, let's get defenders on, let's see this out. That is way more understandable. A 1-0 lead is like it's just not secure. Like anything
Right.
can happen, and for 40 minutes for something to happen like that with all the out of time there is with the hydration breaks now, like that's really 40 minutes, and
Yeah.
like all it takes is just a deflection off someone's head incorrectly for that just lead to be completely gone, and now you're in a crap spot with no attackers on the field. So it was crazy how fast he like panicked to them being pressed after the goal, which I get. Like you were reacting because he thought, I think he just really in his heart of heart felt like we were not going to have a ton of opportunities created. They're just going to press the hell out of us, and he was worried about his back line being leaky because of that, which I get. But that's like a one like I think in my opinion you just try the one sub initially and see like how it adjusts. Like the way they subbed in 3 defenders for like
Yeah.
Declan Rice. Like I'm like, you're taking out Declan Rice? Like
Right.
he's a defensive midfielder. Like he can still help and provide at least some type of like pivot in the midfield to like break from there. Like
Hmm.
It was really bizarre choices from Thomas Tuchel that put him in a really tough spot.
Right. And yeah, like you said too, Argentina gives up goals. At what point are we going to learn that honestly the best defense against Argentina is a good offense, right?
Yeah.
And kind of like you said, like just keep that set, give a chance or two, scare them a little bit so they sit back and think the game isn't theirs to go grab. It's just
You saw
unbelievably
worse teams do
backfired, you
it.
know?
Like
Yeah,
Egypt. You saw Egypt. I know they end up like I know it ends up for them like backfiring a little bit because they had to play defense and they get back in the game. But Egypt's had a breakaway 2-2 that could have won them the game and they just blew it. Like they went
yeah,
out and kept going after the next goal. These other teams like Switzerland got a red card, so that put them in the spot they were in. They had to defend. I get that.
hmm,
But even Cape Verde had more like gumption to move forward against Argentina. Like what are we talking about? Like you are England. Like all I hear, all the chatter, da 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 da. Like it's coming home. We have the best team in the tournament. Like and you have 12% possession, 7 touches in opposing box for the
yeah.
entire game, and you have the guy who's going to win Ballon d'Or this year on your team, and you have 7 touches. Like I, I don't know. And you
Right.
know, Tuchel is a stubborn guy. Like the post like conference after, like his quotes were
Euros is more
horrible. Like
important.
because he's
Yeah.
just so defensive. Like he can't take ownership to that was a mistake. Like I get like you want to defend like your choices, but it's okay. No one's going to blame you to be like I made the wrong choice and
Yeah.
doing something. Everyone would have been like, yes, okay.
Well,
Like
they're
that
all gonna
probably
blame
might
you,
keep
but
him his job longer if he said something like that.
right. Well, and the other side of it too is say they didn't concede those 2 goals somehow. I mean, he's a hero. He managed the game perfectly. They survived Argentina, all this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and like it backfired massively, you know. But I do want to say too, like even before the England goal, which I agree with you. Also, you mentioned like a little bit against the grain, with kind of just felt like out of nowhere, England pops up. I mean, those numbers, like Argentina's still at the edge on the game.
Totally,
Argentina was still putting
they
up
were
the
the only ones
shots,
getting
still holding the
opportunities.
position. Yeah, and a lot of it, like you said, fought in the midfield, but that was Argentina's possession that they were kind of trying to work around
Yeah,
England with. So,
England had one
um,
chance the whole game and they
right,
scored it. That was
and
it.
and they scored it, and so like you look at that bigger picture, it's like okay, they were pretty shy in this game from the get go, and then it's almost like because they randomly scored this goal, which may or may not like. I mean, the goal is a goal, right? It counts, but like just didn't really feel like the flow of the play or where the game was heading, and so like having the lead, which maybe they didn't deserve, and then blowing it makes it even bigger, like out of proportion than what the narrative looks like if they ended up losing 1-0 or 2-1 after going down 2-0 kind of thing. Like I don't think it's nearly up in arms as it is right now because of that. So I think there's some just kind of odd timing things with that. I think that Argentina, like even before any goals were scored, probably should have been the winner of this game. Um, so there's a lot of like, oh man, just those subtle switches. Like I don't know. I get being harsh on Tuchel, blew up in his face, but at the same time, it's like they just didn't really show up today either, or on
Yeah, I
yesterday.
mean,
But
and from the outside looking in, it feels like it's tactic choices. Who knows? Like I mean, we don't know what goes in the locker room totally. So like, what maybe it was on the players a little bit, and maybe
yeah,
some of these
maybe they were mad
tired
at him
legs
from
are
the last
catching up.
press conference. Yeah,
I mean, we're seeing players left and right. I know like the Arsenals and the PSGs of the world, like those players are starting just to look tired on the field. Like they've been
hmm,
playing so much football over the past calendar year. Um, so I don't know how much the factor that is for like a guy like Declan Rice for Bukayo Saka for England. Like those guys clearly look a little worn down at this point, which no one can blame them. Like they have had
yeah,
no time off for a year,
a
so
long time.
they've been playing midweek games like for a year. Like it's just it comes with like success, and I it I don't know. It's tough. I think it's hard too because you see Spain versus France, and I think what puts a light more on Tuchel in England here is if you want to consider yourself one of the best teams in the world, go look over there. Spain scored against France first, and they kept attacking. Like they knew they were like, we have to kill this team. We cannot give them like a breath for them to get back in this game any way possible. And France is a far superior team than Argentina, in my opinion, just like talent wise. Like
Hmm.
that attacking threat is so much even better than Argentina. And I know Spain is on another level right now than England. Like we saw it in the Euros, but it's not that much. Like there wasn't a huge gap. That was a close game, and like Spain proved why they have like the winners mentality of like we are just going to keep going. We're not going to sub on a bunch of defenders. We're going to kill France before they can get back in this game. And I think that's just, I think when you put those two games next to each other, that's why I think it makes it
Yeah.
almost look worse because you saw a team go in the final because they scored first and they didn't take their foot off the gas. Then you saw a team score first and take their foot off the gas completely and led to a different way. So all in all, I mean, it's remarkable what Argentina and Messi are doing is remarkable. Like they just don't die. The power of friendship on that team is ridiculous,
Yeah.
and it's really entertaining. Like we have been given one of the more entertaining World Cups in a long time in terms of just drama and storylines and all these things, which has been great for soccer in America. Like I think we've now all recovered from the U.S. men's national team defeat, where you're starting to get the chatter that this is a huge success in America, like what this World Cup has been. And I don't know about you, but like all over my social media, I'm seeing people being like, "Okay, what teams do I need to follow? Like, what MLS team? What Premier League team?" Like, I was really down on the MLS and not capturing anything of this, which there's still like I still believe that. But the amount of fans that I'm actually seeing being like, "I'm going to start rooting for my local team in the MLS," like that is exactly what this can do in our country, which
Yeah.
has been a lot of fun to see.
Yeah, I think so. I think that we knew it was a success from the group stage and just seeing all the different countries kind of come together. And honestly, it was like a huge party. I think that obviously, like, there's been a ton of great games that have made this very fun as well. I don't know if you've seen this Twitter account, but somebody's been like rating the games like episodes in a TV show, and then posting the seasons as like each round, and then
That's
doing that,
great.
and it's pretty awesome. Like, and there's a lot of green on there, like a lot of good games, and so I think that is all fed into it. I saw an article just today about Don Garber posting like this is not the end of America hosting stuff. Like FIFA is very clearly seeing like the attendance numbers and revenue numbers and like realizing this works. So more to
Yeah, I
come, I'm
mean,
sure, with
I,
that.
I,
But
I think
yeah,
during the group stage at one point they were like, "This is the most attended World Cup in the
such a corny
history
stat.
already
Yeah,
in the group stage," and it's like there's still half the tournament left. Like that.
right.
That's just
Well,
like the infrastructure of the United States that they have. It's just unmatched in
and
terms of
playing
stadium
48
size.
team tournament instead of 32, so you have
Yes,
way more
yeah, but
games. But
the last record holder for World Cup attendance was the last World Cup in the U.S. Like back
oh,
in
really?
1994. Yes,
Yeah,
so it's
I
like
didn't know that part. Yeah.
it's ridiculous. Just like it's just the size of the stadiums that we have versus other countries. Because I mean, we saw in like Saudi, it's or Qatar. I mean, it's they had to build stadiums in the moment, so they like
Hmm.
that's limiting size. Like you saw it when it was even in like London and like England area, like they had to use like Olympic style stadiums, like stuff that was built at that time. So there's just the infrastructure and the size of our country plays a huge factor in that
Yeah.
versus what all these other countries have. So, um, I mean, it's been a success. All the bad storylines and things that have happened throughout it. I mean, hasn't been perfect. No World Cup is ever perfect. I think overall, like we're seeing a good ending to this World Cup, which is awesome. Like the lack of drama in terms of off the field leading up to the final here and the knockouts has been really good since that Balogun incident with the U.S. men's national team, which I mean, I
We'll take
think
it.
blew
Yeah.
over really well because we lost. So
Right.
I
Yeah.
couldn't even imagine what it would have been like if we won. So
Otherwise, yeah, him posting jokes about it on TikTok wouldn't hit the same.
yeah, that was funny, by the
Yes.
way. That was
Yeah.
really funny. If you haven't seen it, go. Balogun made a TikTok and made a joke about having to do so many interviews about the red card at that point.
Yeah.
So
Just the Netflix documentary trend. Yeah.
yes, yep, it was good.
So, yeah.
So leading to the final, we have Spain and Argentina now. It really feels like a transition. Like you're seeing an ascending nation right now in Spain, like like ascending to where they used to be. It's one of the powerhouses of like historically, but they had a down period, and now it's like you're seeing these youngsters like the Yamals, the Pedris, the Gavis, like these guys start to rise and now build out this new Spain squad, and you're seeing like what is probably the last Argentina like run with Messi. Yes, I mean, is there a world he maybe could play when he's 43?
Yeah.
Yes, I. It's just at that point like there's gonna be a wall hit for Argentina with Messi. It will be interesting to see them post Messi world, but here and now, like it feels like the end of a generation and the beginning of another, kind of going head to head here in the final, which I think is a cool storyline. I It's a great time to always bring up the iconic photo. Like it's one of
Yes.
those things I can't believe it's real every time I see it. If you haven't seen this, please go check it out. There is a photo shoot of Lamine Yamal as a baby, like a baby with Lionel
Infant.
Messi,
Yeah.
like giving him a bath or something. I forget what brand it was for. It was for some brand
Yeah.
that he was doing a photo shoot for, and it's literally Lamine Yamal getting a bath from Messi. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, if even if Lamine Yamal was a normal footballer, that would have been a crazy story. This
Right.
dude might be the best player in the world here in 8 years. Like the fact that this guy, like that guy, had this photo
Blessed
shoot
him
with
with
him,
his
and
touch.
now they're
Yeah.
facing off in the World Cup final. It's ridiculous. Like it is ridiculous. And
I saw
I
someone run the numbers on that, by the way. It's like 1 in like 565 trillion.
yeah,
That like that would
it almost feels like it was like ordained by God for to happen. Like it is that remarkable of like a scenario of like how their paths crossed in that moment. Like, and
yes,
it's
yes.
not just like, oh, here, take a quick picture of like with a fan. It's like it's
It's a whole
literally a
deal.
photo shoot with this
Yeah.
baby that is he's giving him a bath. Like what in the world? It's crazy.
Yeah. You
So
are still, or you're less likely to get a perfect March Madness bracket though than that happening again. So
that's
just so
ridiculous.
it's,
That's
yeah, that's also,
I
I
hate
hope
that.
that, yeah, right.
um, but it was so I think it's gonna be a great final. I mean, yes, it's not always fun to have like the powerhouses always make the finals and tournaments, but you can't deny is when you do get the two best teams in the world, like the quality on the pitch is just gonna be remarkable. Like I think you're gonna see a first half really similar to what we just saw in England and Argentina, which is gonna be very cagey, probably physical, a feeling out period in this final. Like that generally happens with most finals already, but these are two physical teams that have talent in the front to create moments. Now, like we said in our previews with the Spain France game, we thought it was going to be like maybe a slow start and then it's going to be like a crazy finish in the end.
Mhm.
Well, Spain, like we said, it was like
Got
we
out
can
kind of
predict this,
early.
but if you
Yeah.
get punched in the mouth early, you're gonna have to adjust your game plan, and that's exactly what happened. Is Spain got jumped on France early in the game, and they had to adjust their game plan, and it fed right into Spain's hands, where they have been so good defensively, and when they had moments to go, they went and Lamine Yamal and Pedro Porro, and these guys were connecting and had great goals. Like it just opened up because France was pressing to get a goal to equalize. So that's what it can happen. I mean, Lamine Yamal on one side, you got Messi on the other. Like both of those guys at any moment, any minute of the game, can just do remarkable things with their left foot. So, like, yes, do I think it's going to be a much more intense second half than first half? If I had to bet my life on it, yes. But these teams are also both talented enough to score at any moment, and the game can change like that. So I think I've been going back and forth with my prediction because I've been talking to a lot of people about it, and I keep telling myself like the conversation I keep having is if I hadn't watched a single game this tournament and just what I know about these teams, I would just say
Yeah.
Spain is such a better team. Like they are. Like it is just objectively, talent wise, top to bottom, like better team. I just don't know how I pick against Argentina anymore. Like I just keep doing it and it keeps backfiring because they keep doing the same thing over and over. I'm still gonna stick to Spain. I still think they're so talented. I think they're so uniform in their tactics. Like they know who they are and they play perfectly into that. The only thing I will say is like I'm waiting for Unai Simon, the goalkeeper for Spain. One of these like runouts that he has, like to like
Yeah. The
way out box.
backfire.
It hasn't backfired yet so far in this tournament, and he has the most shutouts in World Cup history, by the way, already in this tournament. I know that last game would equal the max you could have played in previous tournaments,
Mm.
So he is like a true record holder. It's not because there's been a game added. Like he did it
Yeah.
before the final of this one. So like they've played that well defensively. I'm just like if he comes out in early in this game, Tony, and like misses on one of these or like hits a guy and it leads to a goal, like
Yeah.
that is what could shake this game up a ton. So I I just I don't think it's gonna happen. I think Spain will get one and then they will be able to get a second and then maybe Argentina gets one back. But I think it's gonna be 2-1 Spain. I just think they're so talented and they're equally on the great run like on recent form like Argentina are. Like these are two teams that haven't lost in a while, like a tournament setting have not lost in a while. So you're getting two teams at their peak form, which I think is exciting, and I think makes for a great final. But I'm going to stick to 2-1 Spain and die on that hill and just be ready for Messi to score 3 goals at the end and then win in the last
Yeah,
second.
right. And yeah, I think that honestly, like it's so funny. If Spain scores first, it feels like Argentina's got a better chance of winning. That's like just how it feels with this Argentina team, which is crazy. But I'm
They
right
have
there
the
with you.
equal devil magic going with the Arsenal guy right now too, though.
Yeah, Marino's popped
Moreno,
in and
like
scored some
just
late
sub him
ones.
on late in the game. You
Yeah,
never
correct.
know.
Flip it all on his head. So I think that I'm right there with you. Head says Spain, heart says Argentina. So I'm gonna stick with my head on this one. I think that like I said, they just can't keep getting away with it, and there's no way that in a final, a World Cup final, that it's just like an entire tournament where they get away from it. And I haven't seen it, what's the last time that someone went back to back World Cup winners? I'm sure it's happened.
I mean, it's
You
definitely
know,
happened. It's just been a long time, I
well,
believe.
yeah, I was gonna say definitely last century for sure when
Yeah,
South America really ran the gauntlet. But um, yeah, I have a hard time not listening to my head and saying like Spain's a better team. We saw like Yarzabal like come alive. Like I just
last time
it's
was
yeah.
1958 and 1962.
Okay, so are we gonna make
Brazil.
the magic again? I don't think so. I just think I agree with you. No
It
clean
sucks.
sheets
I
to be
hate
had
picking
here.
against them too because I just know they're gonna
Yeah,
kill me. Like
right.
they do it,
But
and
it's the
it's
move.
crazy because the crowd too. They pack every game,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like when they score that first goal, the crowd. When
It's
even
gonna
when
go
they're losing,
nuts.
the crowds go nuts. But they hit another level where I couldn't imagine being a player on that pitch with that Argentina crowd, like singing the songs and like doing everything like so intensely. Like England had to just be like panicking, like when you're hearing the
Right.
crowd react like that to that goal and going nuts. Like no wonder these teams crumble. Like it's just like it's like a
Yeah.
Roman
Stadium pulse
Coliseum
is yeah
atmosphere.
going
Like
crazy.
it's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. So
crazy.
there's a lot of things still going for Argentina. This feels like Spain's. I think that they've been better at controlling games. Argentina obviously does not necessarily need to play in a game that they're in control of to get a result out of it, but I just think they've looked really composed. I think that's the difference for me. His defense has been very composed. They shut out a France team. We cannot overlook
Yeah.
that. Whatsoever. So I just think that the Spain team is really the way to go here.
Yeah, it'll be a great watch. It's one of these moments I'm trying to like tell myself it's like like witness this because like these are like when we're Unk Tony and like
Mhm.
talking to our grandkids and kids like about like the best players we ever watched. Like we will point to this Argentina run if they go back to back and be like,
Yeah,
it was one of the more remarkable
they were
runs we
insane.
saw
Yeah,
ever in terms of just a team that was not the most talented team, but they had the best player in the world doing remarkable things at the latter stage of his career. That's just the craziest part of it. Like this is not prime Messi. This is like a different version of Messi that he has had to reinvent himself a little bit and carry a team. Like this is
yeah,
it's crazy. So
it's nuts.
we're
Well, one more thing I need to add here too. If this game goes into extra time, then I think my real World Cup winner is Cape Verde because Argentina and Spain could not beat
true,
Cape Verde in 90 minutes. So
true.
Cape
They might
Verde
already be
belongs
there.
there.
Like they should
Yeah.
get the third place trophy, honestly.
seriously, why do we even play that game with England and France
By the
now?
way, it's the dumbest thing ever. Why
Yeah,
they do that? It's just another way to make
money, I
money. I get it,
guess.
but
Yeah,
it's the most ridiculous game ever to play a third place game in the World Cup. Like, what are we doing?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
imagine like that happening in like the Final Four of like March Madness or something, where it's
Right.
like
They're
the
what are
losers will
they
play
there
each other
for?
in this
Yeah,
game.
exactly.
Yeah, it's a money grab, but it's a stupid money grab. It is what it is. Because I checked in the winnings from like the third place team for the fourth place team because I was like, I wonder if it's like a
Hmm.
decent size difference where you might want to like actually
It's a
play
few
people.
million, right? I
It's
mean,
like it's 29 to 27 million. Like I'm like, you gotta make it
yeah.
like actually like matter. Like that's nothing to these teams. Like what are we talking about?
Right. Well, when it trickles down to like all the individual paychecks, like
Like they don't
what,
care. You'll see
10 grand?
rotated squads. Like it's gonna be guys who haven't played all tournament. Like that's what it would be. So, okay. Well, it has been a joy to cover this World Cup. It's been a lot of fun to
Yeah.
have all these games to watch. It's been really sad not having games every single day. Like readjusting to that's really kind of sucked.
Yeah. It's got me
Uh,
sick.
and that's why we're happy to have MLS back, and we're gonna have a ton of midweek games, which I think will help us with that readjustment. And then
Our
on top
sickness.
of that, we have the Prem starting in like less than 40 days now, which is crazy. It's all starting and going here soon, which is the best part about the World Cup summers. It's like a bridge. You just don't really lose soccer at any point, which is nice. Okay, let's get into the MLS previews that we do have. We just have a few, so this is going to be a little bit probably of a shorter episode of us just talking World Cup, talking MLS here, and then on Tuesday we've got
Going
a lot to do.
crazy.
I'm so
Yeah.
excited. I've kind of been like itching for it, where it's like back to the full previews. We can talk about it. We can start to feel out the rosters
Yeah.
and do some recaps with some of these games. So, I Tuesday we'll be back to like what a lot of people know is like our normal scheduling in terms of what our recaps previews look like, which I'm excited about. I'm ready to get into the rhythm because we've got a ton of Wednesday games. I think is it everyone play Wednesday. I think it's everyone plays
I
Wednesday
would
next
think
week.
so. Yeah, because we've got Thursday and Fridays, and then I think we're on Wednesday full
Mm-hmm.
on.
Yep.
Let's see.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah,
is.
15 games. 15
Yep.
games on Wednesday.
That's gonna be. Oh, I
Gauntlet.
can't wait. I
Yeah.
can't wait to turn on the goal. The what's it called? The
Oh,
goal
we
zone
we
for
don't
the
even remember what it's called.
yeah
360. Come on.
MLS
What the-
360. Yeah,
Yeah.
turn and just watch the goals pour in.
Yes.
Late at night because we'll be in attendance. Me and you will be at the FC Cincinnati game on Wednesday, which will be fun. Be
Yeah.
fun to be back in our seats and enjoying some live soccer. Okay, well, Tony, we got two games to preview. There's games going on right now. I can give a brief update. Montreal Toronto tied 0-0. Beautiful game to
Yep.
come back to. St. Louis and SKC living to the sicko mindset here. They're a 2-1 halftime score. St. Louis is winning, so. KC got one back. We'll see how that one ends. And then Seattle and Portland are starting here, which we previewed last episode here shortly. So we'll make sure to recap those when we come back on Tuesday, just to make sure we've all that taken care of.
Yeah. By the way, one quick note, just watching the Montreal Toronto game, 0-0, really lame. Montreal kind of had a little bit of an edge in that one. It felt like Toronto did not show up,
Yeah, why was
to really play.
just not playing again?
I
He
guess
was on
he's
the
getting up to
bench.
speed or whatever. He did, yeah, he did sub on for like last 20 minutes, and I think Toronto pushed. Last 10 minutes it looked like they played pretty high up, but didn't find that equalizer.
Yeah,
And Montreal didn't start Danny Pereira yet. I mean, I know probably new system. They're
yeah. I mean, it's back.
ingraining
We
him
said
in, but
we said they got to start getting 3 points against teams like Montreal if they want a
yeah.
chance, and they've already not
And
succeeded.
they didn't
in
have
that.
Prince Owusu either, which just
Yeah.
our sweet Prince. He was on red card suspension, which
Yeah.
it's just so funny that like that was another lifetime ago when he got
Yeah.
that.
He probably forgot. He probably showed
Yeah.
up for training this week and he was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, I'm not starting. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've got two games tomorrow night. I will be watching the late game. I'm definitely staying up for that one, so I'm excited for that. We have one at 8 p.m., which is Nashville at home versus Atlanta. I mean, I'm gonna be tuning for this one too because this is a Nashville side that was on fire to start the year. Of course, they had CONCACAF on top of regular season play. They were rotating and just kept winning. This is arguably the best attack in the MLS right now. the way that they're rolling. Sam Sturridge is like fully back, which is great for Nashville
Yeah,
because he missed a
huge.
lot of time in the first half, and they were still scoring without him. But he just brings such another element to this attack when he's going, and I'm excited to see how that all comes back together here in the second half. And they're playing it at home, which I think they already announced the game is sold out, which is great for the like that crowd. I saw there were
Yeah,
some international folks that are going to be attending that game, which will be fun.
that's
And
interesting. Yeah.
they're playing Atlanta, and that means this game could get ugly. And we'll see. I think it still might be cagey just because these teams haven't played in a while, so I think it might be a
Yeah.
slow start. But I still think Nashville might win like 3-0. Like I think the second half it's gonna like they're gonna get their feet underneath them, and then it could get ugly because this Atlanta side, although they had some moments near the end of the first half that looked a little bit better, they're still nowhere near talent wise where they need to be. And
Yeah.
they've tried to bring in some support defensively. I just don't think it's going to be enough this early on against the Nashville side that was rolling like they were.
And one thing to note with this Atlanta team too, it's been kind of quiet and under the radar, but they've kind of gone wholesale on their defense. Brought in some new center backs. Not sure availability or any notes like that, but and they're not like the big name signings and the huge fees and all of that. Obviously, it's a defender in
They're like
MLS. It's not
decent
going to
fees
be.
though. Like it's
Yeah,
not like nobody's they're bringing in. They're bringing
right,
international
right.
guys like for like 2 to 3 million a
Yeah, and
season.
right,
Yeah,
very respectable. Just run it, but like I mean, it's resetting. They're churning out the current guys, and I think a little bit of the potentially the Tata Martino stabilization in effect here, which I think is going to start with just saying like we cannot be just bleeding goals the way we are, and then
yep.
once we kind of figure that out, we can get a little bit more established. So just a note there, not to expect this to like totally turn around, but may see some new faces for Atlanta here. Maybe be pleasantly surprised with a few of them too. So, think that's worth watching for in this one.
Totally. I'm assuming you have Nashville as well in that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Still taking Nashville. Like I mean, pound Atlanta to salt.
Yeah.
Like it's just gonna like.
But I think
Yeah.
we both agree that as the second half goes on, it could look better defensively. It can only
Yeah.
go up. So with all these new faces, I think it will look better. And then we have El Trafico, first one of the year, where they saved them both for the second half, which I love. You've got LA Galaxy at home in this one. Doesn't really matter necessarily too much in terms of who's home, who's away. But LA Galaxy just brought in Robert Taylor. That was a signing they
Yeah.
just made. They were teasing like a winger signing, and everyone was like, oh, Salah, and then it was like
Yeah.
Robert Taylor.
But
I
also
was like,
like that's on you if you thought that was gonna be
yeah, like
Salah. Like,
you don't. That's getting leaked before they make the announcement that they're signing
right.
somebody.
Yeah.
So that was funny. I actually don't hate the fit with Peck leaving, like bringing in a MLS guy like that just knows the league and will be able to provide something. I just think talent deficit right now for LA Galaxy. Like João Klaus isn't back yet either. Like there's just a lack of guys and DP guys on the field for Galaxy right now,
Hmm.
and LAFC do have that and have that ready to go. Danny Bouanga's as fresh can be, which I think is good for this team. And Son, pretty fresh because he didn't play much in the World Cup. Which it will be interesting to see what version we get of him coming back. Like, are we going to get the goal scoring Son back, or is it going to be more of the same that it was in the first half? So that'll be interesting to look out for. But I mean, LAFC is still one of the best teams in the league, and they've done a little movement around in terms of transfers, but I don't. The core of this team is still there, and they're still going to be dominant. And I think they're going to take care of business against LA Galaxy. I think it's like a 2-1. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I think they get a win on the road technically.
Yeah, I think LAFC can run downhill on the Galaxy here. I think for the Galaxy particularly, like I from what I've seen most recent, I didn't know if Klaus was going to be back or not. I don't think he's going to be for this game.
Yeah, he's not. I did see he's definitely not playing.
Yeah, so I don't even know who plays striker for the Galaxy next. Like who's the next man up there? LAFC, one of the keys of their success in the beginning of the season was their defense, particularly. Obviously, like they would win like 2-3-0, but the nothing part had a big deal with that, and I think they've looked really solid. And they have gotten Aaron Long back, which has been a huge addition for him. Porteous has looked good. Segura's look good. Like they've got a handful of center backs that have done really well for LAFC. So I think just when you look at that, you lose Peck, which again maybe not meant to be the best player on a team, but certainly has to offer some value. Paintsill right now and maybe Eric Tommy are your two main attacking threats, and Marco Royce kind of, but that's a sneaky like ball pops out and he's able to finish something kind of goal is what he gets. So I just don't see too much threatening for this LAFC defense. It's proven really well, and I didn't even mention Lloris has been really good so far this season as well. So I agree with you. Nothing crazy here. LAFC should win this.
Yep. Okay. Well, like I said, shorter episode. We still got. I mean, we still talked a decent amount. I'm gonna miss the World Cup.
We got to talk for a few more minutes. I'm just, it's coming to my mind here. We did not talk about Kai Wagner.
Oh yes, I was teeing up for the preview in the next episode, but we can definitely talk right now. It's one of the more bizarre moves.
Yes.
So, at first, like, first reactions. I'll give you my first reactions. I'm gonna get your reaction at.
Yeah.
First, I saw it and I was like, oh, like sometimes you see this, like we've seen this with guys. Who was it with NYCFC that I just mentioned the other day in our text thread that is coming back to them, which was a big deal.
Not NYCFC. Daryl DK? You mean for Orlando?
No.
Oh.
That's another one. Which we'll talk about. But I think the preview will cover a lot of that. It was NYCFC Sands. Sands is coming back to
James Sands,
NYCFC. And that was more because of injury and stuff like that. But sometimes you see these guys come back and you're like, it's because of an injury. It's because they haven't played super great, and they familiarity. Like they're like, yes, we will gladly take you back. Like you were great for us. Like that happens. Like that's not a shocker. Kai Wagner played great for Birmingham City. Like played really well.
Yeah.
So they sold him for $2.5 million to Birmingham. Tony, they bought him back for $4 million. I literally when I saw that today, my brain melted. I was like, what? And he's on a DP deal. I was like, what in the world is this move? Like it was like it was 101 of what a bad team is doing in right now. And like maybe Kai Wagner comes and does great, that's fine. Like he might still be awesome. Your DP being left back is not helpful. Like it like as much as we dog like FC Cincinnati for a center back like being DP or like some other teams like using center backs to me are way more reasonable than a left back being your DP. Like I know Kai Wagner's that type of guy. He's basically a left wing, like so it's like kind of an attacking type DP, which I get it. I just couldn't believe how this all came to be. Like the numbers involved in this deal blew me away. And I feel for Philly fans. Like, I think they're all really excited. I really do. I mean, I think in a bad season, like, this is probably the best thing you could be excited about is, like, hey, bring back one of our own. Like, let's see what he can do. This team's just still going to suck. And it sounded like Kai Wagner was moving strictly for personal reasons. Like, I don't think his family was very happy in Birmingham, which ended up being the reason. Because, like I said, he had a great season. Like for the half season that he was there, like played really well and earned the trust of the coach and had some big moments for them. I mean, I remember he had assists like that first game that he went over and like it was like a game winning assist. Like so he played well. It was more of a personal reason, and Philly wanted to bring him back because I think they're just in turmoil and they were like, let's bring back something that'll make the fans happy. But paying $1.5 million in the end to just reacquire this guy was ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And like I know Tom Bogert's reporting has just been like they did it in the first place because they wanted to honor their promise. Like they told him if an opportunity came and he wanted to do it, they would let him do it because he served them well, which he did. He was like MLS All-Star many years, was great for them, hit that like prime of his career, and this was his chance to do it. I just can't believe they bought him back for that price. It blew me away.
Yeah, the numbers part of it, I don't know if he got a new deal at Birmingham, and so Philly's like trying to honor that. But I would think like if the player is forcing the move, then the buying team has like basically the leverage. Like you don't want a player that's just not going to play on your
I know,
books.
like, but I don't know if it's quite that. Like, I think Birmingham would have been happy to keep him. Like,
Well, but is Kai going to play, or is he going to say like, or did he really force his way out? These are the
that's what we
details we
don't
don't
know.
know,
Like, it,
right?
yeah,
But that's where I think like how did they get away with paying more, like, or
like how do you not
selling for
negotiate
more
at
like
least like
that?
a call it even? Like,
Right, right. So
it's
that
crazy.
part's just insane, and I think that the reason he's a DP is because of that new fee, and
It's
let
exactly the reason. I mean, and it was on a good, I think, contract over at Birmingham, which factors in. So
right, right. The bigger picture for Philly is they had one DP, and they've got their option if they still want to go the 3-3 or the 2-4. I think honestly, in their mind, and with all the Ernst Tanner stuff, they weren't going to go for a big swing. They weren't going to bring in another DP. So
yeah,
that automatically sets you up for the 2-4. Go for the Morgam. That's great. Well, you still have one DP slot that you need anyways. Might as well make that Kai Wagner. Fill in that
yeah. I
slot,
mean, like I said, I
and
think
bring
it's a
him back.
goodwill sign, like for the fans. Like I
So,
think it was let's bring back some like dignity to our team, and they're all familiar with Kai. That like, he's gonna adjust immediately. Like you don't have to worry about that, and the fans will love it. I really think a lot of it was like they're like we can eat the 1.5 mil because we'll make it back in like fan happiness in that
right,
scenario,
the
which
new
is
Kai Wagner
yeah,
jerseys being sold are going to be crazy. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, the
So
prices these days, they only need to sell like 50, and they got like, it's, geez.
yeah, and my sucker ass will keep buying it. Um, but yeah, it was bizarre. It was a completely bizarre move, and like I said, if I'm a Philly fan, I'm happy. It's not my money. I'm sure that I have a feeling that they have an idea that they'll buy him down eventually. Like that's like the
Mhm.
long term play here. Like that he will not be a DP long term. Which that's the only reason I can justify it is if like they have a plan next year to renegotiate like or refix him somehow so he's not a DP level player or 2 years from now. So then they can go out and get DPs to fill those slots to reinforce the team. So if that ends up happening, I think it could be a good move long term. But in the short term, I think it's just a goodwill signing in a crap year, and you're doing good by the player because he wants to come back and be happy. And there's a lot of reasons why it makes sense, but there's also just the bizarreness of it all. That is
Yeah.
like, what in the world? But that's why we love this
Fun little
league.
headline. Yeah.
That's why it's great. We'll talk about Daryl DK going back to Orlando, which is I think a great move for both sides in that scenario because I think there's a lack of pressure on him in that setting now with Antoine Griezmann there for him to like
Hmm.
score, and
But how
he
many
just needs
minutes?
minutes to readjust. Like he any minutes will be helpful compared to what he's
It's,
been getting.
it's
So
true.
and that's where I'm interested because I'm like if he's just a backup, like how much is he gonna play, or do they have like ideas of the lineup
Like a
of
double.
having
Yeah.
all of them in there somehow. So we'll see. We'll see it play out. I think it'll be it's a fun signing. I mean, when he's healthy, he's one of the more exciting players you can watch on the pitch. Like just a I don't want to call him Holland, but like Holland, like where it's like he's so physical, like up front, where he can like just toss guys around and. Back to back Achilles tears has slowed him down. So we'll see what he's got
Yeah.
left in the tank. And this was clearly when they sold Duncan McGuire, what the plan was to bring him back on a probably really really cheap deal for what they sold him for. The opposite of Philly, they sold him really high and
Right.
they bought him back really low. So I in my mind, I another like if you're a Orlando fan, you've got to be loving this right now in terms of just like morale being built back up from the fan base after what was like a horrendous start. Like you've got to be so excited for Griezmann and DK to get on the field for your team right now. So
Yeah.
uh, lots of fun times ahead. We'll preview that all on Tuesday and get into it. With that being said, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate you listening. We're happy to be back in the MLS. This is where our bread and butter is. So Tuesday is going to be a full preview, 15 games. We'll talk about transfers, what's how they factor into some of these matchups, and just give our best guess with some of it because it's like week one of the MLS all over again. You just really don't know what you're going to get. Your expectations can be thrown away. Teams that look great in the first half could suck in the second half for all we know. So
Right.
will be fun to be here. We'll be here to react to it all. And with that being said, we'll see you guys on Tuesday.
See you.